Hi everyone, I'm Wendy, and pie is one of my favorite kinds of dessert. So this March 14th, aka Pie Day, I wanted to show you how to make a sweet potato pie. But not just any sweet potato. This pie uses two delicious varieties of sweet potato, and I'm serving it along with a refreshing cherry blueberry ice cream. We'll make the crust first, but before I do that, I want to get the dates soaking for the filling. So I have 1 cup of cashew milk, although any plant-based milk will be fine. And to that, I'm adding a 1/2 cup of roughly chopped dates. I like to chop my dates and soak them to make sure they blend really well, especially because today I'm using my food processor, which is not a very powerful one. So I'll set the dates aside to soak while I work on the crust. That starts with 1 1/4 cups of old-fashioned rolled oats that I'm blending into a coarse flour. I'll transfer this to a small bowl for later. Then back to the food processor, I'm adding 1 1/4 cups of walnuts, along with 2 chopped medjool dates, or about 4 daglet dates, and 2 tablespoons of ground flaxseed. I'll blend this until it turns into a sticky crumble. You don't want to blend too long, or else it'll turn into a walnut butter. But I'm blending it a little more than just making a flour. So when you're done, it'll look crumbly like this, but it'll be pretty sticky. Then I'm adding in 1 cup of cooked Jersey sweet potato. These are also known as Hannah yams, and it's a sweet potato that's white on the outside and the inside. I'm also adding back in the oat flour, and I'll process this, stopping to scrape down the sides a few times until it's a nice uniform mixture. As you can see, this dough is very thick and sticky. I'm scraping all of it out into my pie pan, and then I'll press it out evenly across the bottom and up the sides of the dish. Take your time working your way around, and if it gets too sticky, you can use a little extra flour. I always keep some oat flour on hand for such purposes. And then continue pressing until you have an even crust. The nice thing about this dough is that if one spot gets too thin and another is too thick, you can simply pinch off pieces and press it back together. You can also make whatever kind of edge you want on your crust. I usually just pinch it all the way around. And whenever you're satisfied with the shape of your crust, put it in an oven preheated to 375 degrees Fahrenheit for about 15 minutes. While that bakes, I'll work on the filling. I'm going back to the same food processor, and there's no need to wash it out. I'm adding another 1/4 cup of rolled oats and blending that into a flour. Again, I'll transfer it to a bowl for later. Next into the food processor, I'm adding the cashew milk and soaked dates. I also have 1 teaspoon of vanilla bean powder and our second kind of sweet potato. This time I'm using 2 cups of cooked purple sweet potato. I absolutely love how vibrant these purple potatoes are, and it makes me want to play with my food because the texture is almost like Play-Doh. I'll blend this until it's a uniform, smooth mixture. Again, you may have to stop and scrape down the sides a couple of times. Finally, I'll add back that little bit of oat flour to thicken up the mixture just a little bit. Once the oats are incorporated, I transfer the filling to the pre-baked pie crust. Again, it's a pretty thick mixture, so take your time spreading it out and pressing it down evenly. Then this will go back into the 375 degree Fahrenheit oven for about 35 minutes. I do recommend covering the crust so it doesn't burn. You can use foil, or I have this handy dandy cover that I use, but I totally forgot to put it on today, so my crust got a little dark, but it'll still be okay. So now our pie is ready to eat. I think this pie is best served cold. So after it bakes, let it cool and chill in the fridge. It smells absolutely divine, and I can't wait to dig in. But although pie is good on its own, it's even better with ice cream. To stick with the purple theme, I thought some cherry blueberry ice cream would be a good choice. So back to our handy dandy food processor, I'm going to add about 1 cup each of frozen banana, cherries, and blueberries. The exact amounts don't matter. You can make more or less depending on how much you want to eat, but it's roughly equal parts of each fruit. Be sure to check your cherries for pits. Even when they're supposed to be pitted, I always usually find a few. And I've let this frozen fruit thaw for about 10 or 15 minutes so it blends easier. You can add a little bit of plant-based milk as needed to get it to blend to your desired consistency. In a food processor, you shouldn't need more than a few tablespoons, but if using a high-powered blender like a Vitamix or Blendtec, you may need to use more liquid. Once it's all blended up, it's ready to serve immediately, or you can store it in the freezer, and then you'll just have to let it sit out for about 15 minutes to soften up before serving. Both this pie and this nice cream would be great standalone desserts, but together they make a show-stopping purple dish. The pie has a very strong vanilla sweet potato flavor, so the berry nice cream adds a little tang that really livens up the dish. Happy Pie Day, everyone! If you love pie, hit the thumbs up, and let me know in the comments your favorite flavor or what pie you might be eating today. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time.